So it's been a couple months since we've done a shop tour. We've got some new boats in here. We've got some boats that have been here before that we're finishing up, and we're going to share that with you right now. So we're back on the Sportsman. We're working on getting the engines set in here. That pretty much has already been done, but what we're trying to do is figure out the shifting. Now these boats came with the pistol grip shifters, and so the mechanisms and the rods that go through here, we had to figure that out. The other one that we have worked on has been changed as well. And so we had to figure out what some of these parts and pieces were and how they functioned to shift these things from the dash. Pretty much got that figured out. Now we just have to make up the shifting rods and finalize getting the engines set in here. We already have the shafts holes drilled. The rudders are ready to go in. Once we get all that done, then we can put these doghouse deck pieces over the top of the engine. It was just a lot easier for us to do all the shifting work and get the engine set in here properly without those in there. So we'll get the engines finalized, we'll get some wiring run, then we can set these doghouses in here, screw them into the side of the coaming boards, bung those, sand those, do one final over sand of the whole thing, and we'll be staining the boat. So hopefully, probably in the next month, I'd like to be putting varnish on this boat and have most of the mechanicals and electrical done on it. You may have remember this boat if you've watched the past shop tours. This was in here last winter. This is Last Call. This is the very last Super Sport made, and so that's why they called it Last Call. The engine came back from the engine rebuilders. We got that setting in here. We finalized the shaft hole and the alignment of it. Now we're working on electrical, and then we are going to receive all the interior and the panels for it. That took a while. We had to have some of the vinyl specially made for this, and then that took almost a year for that stuff to get made. We finally received that. It went to the upholsterer, and most of the upholstery is done now. So this one shouldn't be in here through the winter. We're going to try to finish it up as fast as we can, get it out of here, because we got a bunch of jobs coming in here for the winter. So. We have the 1952 Riviera here. We have gotten all the stripes filled. We use Sikaflex mahogany color. It is on its last coats of varnish. Matter of fact, what we're going to do next is we'll get the names and the numbers put on it, and then we'll be on to our final coats. And hopefully we can start working on the interior. The engine won't go out until probably beginning of winter. The engine rebuilder has 2 engines already for us, and when those come back, we'll take the engine back. We'll probably get that engine back somewhere in the end of winter, and then we can assemble the boat completely. By that time, we'll be done with all the wiring and everything and complete it for spring. So we have final coats now on the 1937 17-foot Deluxe. It's got the name, Chris-Craft on the side, and its numbers. We received the engine back, and now we can really start putting the boat together. We have ordered the upholstery material for it, and that should start happening with the upholstery probably in the next couple weeks. But we're gonna assemble this boat. Everything is ready to go in the boat. It was nice, the customer did most of the work on basically restoring all the components for the boat. And so he brought that to us this week, and now we can start assembling, getting the rudder log in there, the shaft log. We'll do all that first, get our shifting and steering done. We'll get our electrical wires pulled, then we'll put the engine in, and then the dash, and start making all of our connections on that while the interior is being made. So this should go pretty fast. This boat also is a rare one just because it comes with a silver water line from the factory. In 37, they did the silver water line, so that's pretty unique for this boat. It's gonna be a beautiful boat. It came out super fair. We're gonna wet sand and buff it like we always do, white deck stripes, all the chrome's been redone. So it's gonna be a pretty amazing boat, and hopefully you'll see it in some of the boat shows next year around the US. So speaking of different colored water lines, this one has a green water line, and that is correct for this 1939 Chris-Craft 19-foot barrelback. They started that in 37 with some of the boats. You don't see it very often because most people just don't know that it ever existed. This boat came from Lake Tahoe just about a month ago, and it didn't have its name on it, and it didn't have Chris-Craft on the side or the numbers on the side. So that's what we did. We sanded the sides, we coated it with a couple coats of varnish, sanded it again, and then we put the name and numbers on here. So now it is called Schatzi, and a gentleman down south owns it. It was restored a few years back down out in Lake Tahoe area, and they did a fantastic job. It's a beautiful boat. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish this up in the next week and get it to its owner. He lives down south, and I believe it's his first wooden boat. So a beautiful example of a 1939 barrelback, 19-foot, and he should be very excited, and it just be all around great boat for him. So we're back on Legacy as well. One of the reasons that we have taken a break on some of these boats is we've had a number of boat shows that we've been to, and it's pretty much over except for one last boat show, and that's the International Boat Show in September. Now that's in Gull Lake, Minnesota. If you get a chance to go up there, look it up online, Gull Lake, Minnesota International ACBS show. It's gonna be worth seeing. There's an amazing amount of really, really special boats up there. So we're back on Legacy. We've got the engine installed. We've got one more coat of varnish to go. Then we can wet sand and buff the deck out and get the dash prepped out to receive all of its instruments and stuff. So that should be happening in the next couple weeks. We hope to have this out of here before the snow flies, tested and done. So it's coming along really good. It's gonna be a very nice boat. So that's what's been happening around here. I hope you enjoyed the shop tour. If you did, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button for me. That really helps out in the algorithm and getting it out to other people too, so I appreciate that. If you want to support the channel, there's the Patreon, and you can do so. The link is in the description and also at the end of the video. So I hope you have a great weekend. It's Friday here. We're gonna probably go for a little boat ride on my boat and have a beverage and just relax for the weekend. So we'll see you next time. Bye.